Off the top at 6, a live look at the Virginia Beach oceanfront as Memorial Day weekend 2018 kicks off.
These workers kept cool as they waited for their weekend to start. It turns out today might be the coolest of the next few days.
Live radar is sweeping clear, but we're monitoring a potential for some showers over the weekend.
Let's get things started with Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lawson.
Yeah, there's certainly a chance for some wet weather over the weekend, a pretty good chance actually as we go later and later into the weekend. Right now, though, you can see clear skies everywhere across the region. Doesn't matter if you're talking Kildeville Hills, Northeast North Carolina, Wachapreague up on the eastern shore, any of our 7 cities here in the metro area. Just showed the radar and how it was sweeping clear. Skyview's also clear, so it's sunny out there, but that's one of the reasons we got fairly warm today. We're still in the mid-80s, winds out of the south-southwest. They were 16, now they're down to 14. It's not going to be terribly windy tonight, but a nice breeze actually helps to cool you off a little bit with temperatures like this. For this evening by 7 o'clock, still in the low to mid 80s. Then we drop back a little after sunset into the 70s. And then these numbers, as you can see, just gradually creep down. By morning, we're going to be anywhere from mid 60s to near 70 as the humidity levels start to come up a little bit. But for the weekend, we're looking at some isolated thunderstorms forming, certainly in Central Virginia and maybe even around here late in the day. High temperatures will be a little hotter, though, about 88. It'll feel more like 90. Sunday's 88 will feel probably more like 92 with a few more isolated thunderstorms. And then Memorial Day, scattered showers. The thinking maybe is that it'll stay 2 different areas, one north and then especially some of the heaviest down to the south, but a little cooler if we get some of that rain. We'll break that all down, but more importantly, we have a first named storm, Alberto, subtropical storm Alberto. I'll explain what that means in addition to where it's headed when I come back.
All right, back live to Cancun as Alberto dumps rain on the Yucatan Peninsula. Alberto became the first named storm of the season late this morning.
And it's a good reminder to know your zone as the tropics heat up. In Virginia, there are 4 hurricane evacuation zones, A through D. As a storm approaches, emergency managers will determine which zones are most at risk and will issue evacuation orders based on intensity, path, speed, and other factors.
Right now, a meningitis scare in Newport News. This letter went to some parents warning some of them their kids may have been exposed.
In it, the Peninsula Health District says students at these 4 schools may have come in contact with someone who has meningitis. 13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens picks up the story.
Parents are upset. Their children on high alert.
That's kind of scary.
News that someone in the Newport News public school system has meningococcal meningitis is spreading quickly.
Everyone's talking about it and kind of just like wondering where it's coming from, who has it, because everyone's just kind of scared to get it.
School officials say that person serves at Warwick High School, Crittenton and Huntington Middle School, and Sedgefield Elementary School. The Peninsula Health District sent out letters this week alerting parents, but they only sent letters to families whose child may have come in close contact with that person. So not every student, not every family got a letter. Allison Cole is a sophomore at Warwick.
When something big happens, like everybody likes to talk about it.
Cole is fortunate she didn't get a letter, but knows some of her classmates did.
I was nervous because you don't know who was exposed to it.
Peninsula Health District Director Dr. William Berg says there's a small amount of students who may have been exposed, adding they only notified less than 1,000 families. Dr. Berg says the chances of a student getting exposed and becoming sick is very low, but there are potentially very serious consequences.
We inform the parents, be on the lookout for this, and if you have any doubt, go to your doctor, take the letter.
Students like Cole remain on edge.
Yeah, everybody's just kind of like shocked that it happened here.
And health officials stress this is not an outbreak and there is no danger to the public. And parents, health officials say be on the lookout for symptoms like a headache, a fever, stiff neck, possibly a skin rash or vomiting, and to contact your child's physician if they develop any of these signs or symptoms. In Newport News, I'm Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.
So what is meningitis? It is the swelling of the protective membranes covering the brain and spinal cord.
It is treatable. Doctors use antibiotics to fight it, but they say quick medical attention is extremely important. Doctors say keeping up with your vaccines is the best defense.
New at 6, a broken valve sends a torrent of water down on Norfolk Street. 13 News Now on Lafayette Boulevard. Norfolk Utilities tells us they were shutting down a water main when the valve blew. A crew is digging up the main to install a new one. In the meantime, Lafayette will be closed near Cromwell Road and Chesapeake Boulevard. No word yet on when the road will reopen. Developing now in Norfolk, two parents are put behind bars after their disabled son was found with bed sores filled with maggots.
Philip and Georgia Hernandez now face some serious charges. 13 News Now reporter Megan Shin was there as the disturbing details were revealed in court.
George is now live with the story.
Well, you guys, this is definitely quite a story. Court documents show Philip and Georgia Arends are facing charges including allegedly abusing and neglecting their son. Jason Arends lives with cerebral palsy, and neighbors tell me they're shocked by the allegations.
Norfolk court documents say doctors found 24-year-old Jason Arends in poor condition when they examined him. His parents, Philip and Georgia, took him to Centera Norfolk General Hospital on Tuesday. Court paperwork states Jason had bed sores and that Philip remembers Georgia treating Jason with ointment. When he got to the hospital, doctors found maggots and larvae in his wounds. The court documents say Philip claims he didn't realize the severity of the neglect and that Georgia is the primary caregiver.
I call him Miss Georgia.
Neighbors around the family's home on Harold Avenue say Philip served in the Navy and Georgia had a wheelchair ramp for her son with cerebral palsy.
I couldn't believe that. I was shocked when I heard that because I know she really took good care of him.
Besides mentioning the maggots and larvae, the court paperwork says Jason arrived at the hospital covered in feces, dehydrated and starving. Neighbor John Williams says Georgia had several health issues.
Suffered from her diabetes and heart problem, everything, and she's not able to physically be lifting him.
Despite that, Williams believes Georgia took care of Jason and her daughter.
They like glue.
Now that glue is pulled apart. Georgia and Philip, rather than being home, are in jail cells with no bond set.
Philip and Georgia are expected to have a bond hearing next Tuesday. Because of Jason's cerebral palsy, he was appointed Colleen Dickerson as his guardian ad litem attorney. Now, she told me she can't comment on his condition because of pending litigation. Right now, Jason is in the care of Adult Protection Services. In the studio, Megan Shin, 13 News Now.